Hey guys, so I forgot to mention we also keep some glue as well as tweezers which are going to be needed in our process. So first of all, let us start from the starting part, like front part of the engine, and we will try to build the first here. So to do that, we need to use these two parts and essentially three parts, one, two, and three. Just slide this in and we can connect this like this. And once we do this, so in this part we don't need any washers, so I suggest just take some of the nuts, and there are linings which can hold the nuts here. So what I'll do, I'll put in a few directly, and then I'll tighten two at a time. So I've placed two, and I'm going to tighten a board here. So I'm going to use pliers to tighten this up. So you can see one is tight. Now once we tight one, then remaining are easy. So I'll fast forward that. So one thing to be noted, sometimes the nuts or bolts or washers are not really perfect, and they don't work. So we have added some additional nuts, bolts and washers in the package, so that in those cases you can um, like put them away, the non-working one, and use the one which are working. So these are all very fragile parts, so try not to tighten them too much. um, you should just tighten them up to a level that they just can't move easily, but they don't damage also, because this is plastic and we don't want to damage it. So now we have the first part done, and the next thing we need to do, we need to glue the turbo fans. Now let me put them one by one. So I think this is the one. This one, the largest one with the largest braid goes to the top, and then make sure that they are all are aligned properly. You see they are in somewhat curved shapes, so they are all curves should be same, and one by one we can see if they all stick, and once we find them sticking properly, keep the order, remove them for a second, and here comes the glue. Now we should glue them on. So use a little bit of glue in all these. We don't want too much, and also we don't want to kind of have it loose. So okay, we have 4 fans total. There are linings where we need to put the glue. So you can see glue has been put. Now on the same orientation that we checked earlier, we are going to slide these in, and as you can see, with the correct orientation, I'm going to slide them all in one by one. Okay. Place them in place, put them in place. Once I'm done, I'll put this aside and I'll move on to the next glueable item. So this one is for the compressor, and again the same thing. First of all, what we need to do, we need to check and we need to see whether all of these align properly. They have slots built in, and they are supposed to be placed in properly, and they should not move away from their place, and they should all line up perfectly. So as you can see, now I have maintained this order, and it looks good. So again, I'll do the same thing. I'll remove them, I'll place them in a line preferably, so that I know which one to slide first and which one to slide later, in the correct orientation also. Now once I've done that, so again on this part as well, there are lines indicating where the turbines are going to be bare. So I'll slowly put in some glue. There are total 5 turbines that are used in this compressor. So I have 5 lines on these lines where these turbines go. I'm just putting in the glue. Once done, again the very same thing. I'll see that orientations are correct. So for your reference, you can check the correct orientation. Now also I'll put this one aside while these two rise up and make better bond. I'll move on to the next item. So this is a critical part, and I would advise you to take it slowly and do it very diligently. Now this casing comes in and it sticks on these 2 lines within this, so you'll have to push a little so that this fits right in. Once okay. Don't try to be too hasty about it. Take it slow. These are all plastic PLA part, 3D printed part, and they can break easy. So be very diligent, careful, so that you do not break any of these things. So take it very lightly. Okay. Okay. Actually, sliding it from one side worked real well, and you can see there are no gaps. Okay. So once we do this, now the next part is this. So this fuel chamber sits in this orientation with this part, and once it does, you can clearly see that there are these holes which opens up, and now also we have these fuel injectors. So there are 12 of these included in the package. Whereas it requires only 11. So you need to see this really carefully. Once it's a little bit hard to put in a few of these, so you have to take it in this orientation, put it in, and then you'll see that there is a hole lined up just below it, and slightly push it. So once you do it, it fixes like this, and the same thing has to be done for all of these fuel injectors. I'll do these one by one. I'll fasten this up, and we'll see. But be really gentle with these. These can break. These are small parts, so very gently push them. Try to kind of take your time. It is the fun. That is the fun in this process. So slowly and slowly, one by one, we will put these. And if one of these, any of these is not fitting properly, so I have included this cutter. You can trim it off a little bit, and then it will fit right in. But don't do a lot of it, because otherwise it will get loose, and it will not stick at all. So after we put a few of these, then it becomes slightly easier. So try to be a bit patient with these. Once it happens, it becomes easier. Mm. This one is harder. Seems. Okay. Once we get few of these right, then they all kind of slides properly, and the fixes very well. And while some fixes, the remaining gets lined up perfectly, and it's easier to kind of push them in. properly, and I have fixed them all one by one. Now they don't go any further. So once this is done, it will align properly and you'll be able to kind of have this one slight bit moving. We don't need to move it, but just so that you know. This part also we have completed, and then we have these parts. So now this is the exhaust side. This is low pressure turbines, and they are used by uh, for moving the entire assembly. So these are the turbines which are kind of rotated when the exhaust gas is moving out from the tail of the engine, and once that happens, it kind of moves the entire front fan, so that brings in more air. That is crazy, but it is amazing. They say rocket science is tough, but in reality jet engines are even more difficult. So the same thing on these also. So I have lined these up, which one goes into which position. So these two slides in from one side, and then these two slides from, these three slides in from one side. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, these two slides in from one side, these two slides from another side. Again, the same thing we need to do. We need to get our glue back on and apply the glue on all the lines which holds these low pressure turbines, and there are 4 of these. I can see that 4 lines are visible here, as you also can see. So now we have glue put in on all the places, and these to know the direction of these, you can always see there is one very obvious um, curve in all these slant on all these blades. So you'll get to know how one fits. So once you know how one fits, on the same tilt direction we need to put all the remaining. So on the same lines, I'll put one side first one, then the one by second one, and I'll turn it over, and I'll see which side matches. It's this. Now we got the third one, and then this side 2 matches, and then this we got the fourth one. Sorry, I slid it wrong, it seems. Okay. I was trying to put it the other way around. So yeah. Now we have 2 going in from one side, another 2 going in from other side. Now I'll again carefully place it on place, and while we do that, we'll move to the next part. And for the next part, we can have this exhaust uh, bolted in. Now with these we are going to use the washers as well. So washers are really essential in any mechanical component, otherwise with vibrations nuts and bolts tend to loosen, and these washers they certainly help to avoid or reduce the vibrations. I'm sorry, not vibration, but also vibration as well as the uh, loosening of the bolts. I will use one on each side. So I took one nut, I placed a washer, I slid it through one side, and on the other side I put a washer. So every one bolt will have two washers, and I'll just put in a nut on top, and then while holding it carefully I'll tighten it up. So it takes a little bit of skills, but once you get one right, then it becomes aligned and you don't have to hold it, so it becomes easier. And now I'll take in a few of these out, and I'll try not to kind of lose them because these are counted. And now slowly I'll do the same again and again with all the holes that we have, and seems like we did not get many nuts. While I do this, I may fasten this up. It's somewhat busy work, but this is what it makes it interesting in a long time. Oh. So these are small parts. I would advise to do this part yourself. Otherwise, kids can eat these, and I don't think that will be healthy. So As I mentioned, some of these nuts and bolts are not perfect, so at time we need to kind of discard the imperfect one because that won't just stick properly, and take another one from the bunch. We have additional ones. Okay. It seems the problem is not with the bolt but rather with the nut itself. I'll just remove the nut. Sometime in manufacturing there are a bunch of these which are not made perfectly and the QA will be too much. So just choose another one. It's all about efficiency. So indeed it was a bolt nut, I'm sorry, that was not good. I'm always confused which is nut and which is bolt. So and again these also I'm tightening them only up to a level that they are tight but they are not damaging the plastic. And my fingers are too, and that will happen, it's supposed to happen, can't do anything about it. Maybe if you use a power screwdriver that may be a bit better. Now we have exhaust ready as well, and moving on to the next part. They will still take some time, I suppose, before they are ready. I'll not touch them this time. In the meantime, I'll open one of these larger ball bearings. always keep your ball bearings lubricated, or else sometimes they tend to rust. This one seems to be giving me a little bit of problem. I'll bring in sandpaper. So this is small sandpaper. We include this also in the box. After sanding it a little bit from the inside, let us see if this fits. Yep. So once we sand it, now it's a little bit harder to push it in, but we'll try all the sides and slowly we'll try to get it into place. We keep rotating and keep pushing it and try not to break this. So try to do it slowly, as slow as possible, so that you don't break the plastic parts. If it is too hard, you can sand it a little more. Sanding a little definitely helps moving it easier. Once it is in place, it will be really hard moving it out, so ensure you don't push it too hard and kind of break it. And these can break if you try to push it like this, so don't do that. Now the exhaust part is ready, and we are waiting for the other parts to kind of the glue to settle. And move this, and again this part goes like this, and this part, this I'm just doing for my reference, so please do not repeat it. Okay. Now I suppose this will be slightly hardened. Now keep this like this and place it inside in this direction. I'm sorry, not this direction, not this. Okay, I'm sorry, this direction, like this. Okay, and once we do this, we'll see there are holes in this as well as this part. They both are part of rotors shaft, and once we align them over one another, then we can this is a bit harder to achieve, but you need to be very specific, very slow in order to do this. And I would advise to not glue this first. Just put these screws without the glue and these rotor parts, blades, and because that may be easier. I'm doing this because I want to do it kind of fast, and that's why I wanted to glue everything first, and so that I have time for it to settle. Otherwise I had wait towards the end. So first one is always a little bit hard to get. I'll align them. seeing them. And when I see one of these, I'll put in a washer, take these tweezers, these are a tilted tweezer, I'll hold it like this and I will slowly slide it. And once I see the bolt went right in, then from the other side I will hold a nut, bolt, whatever it is, and from the other side I will try to position it on that nut. It is very difficult now because I have placed in these glue and all, but once I get this just right, I can put one of my finger here and rotate this entire thing. Now I have this nut, and on from the other side I'm still holding the nut from with my hand, with my finger from bottom. I'm rotating, so it is kind of getting tightened. And I'm trying to not break the glue as well, so I'm doing it slowly. Once I get one right in, I can slightly rotate and they all kind of lined up together. Okay, I don't know if that was visible. The same thing now I have to repeat a lot of times. It is not easy, guys. But once it is done, it is worth it. Same slow process, holding one finger, moving it around, taking up one nut and just placing it on top. And now with finger, pushing that entire nut away, and then tightening it. I'm always very scared that in this step, if I get a bad nut, bad bolt, it's a little bit harder for this one, so I try to test them beforehand for this one only, and once I do, if it's right in, I only do one at a time, otherwise that more at a time I could not figure out if I can do. So if you followed along and these are moving here and there, don't worry, you can glue them back again. It will just take a little bit time for them to set up. these are very small parts. I would advise you to always do this in a well lit area, otherwise it's a slight bit hard to work with these. Okay. Also, seems like my fingers are thin enough to get through this hole. Make sure that you can do that, or maybe get help from someone else. I think we have either a bad nut or a bad bolt at our hand. Maybe a small imperfection, but it worked. Okay, so we have this part ready as well, and it fits like this. Let me sit it this way. Now here we have to place these ends also. They goes in their own orientation. No two will fit in other places. They have grooves and they kind of fit perfectly. Some of these, like, they won't move, and they goes in a very specific direction. These are chamfers like that. Be gentle, and I was placing it the other way around. Okay. This one also fits, and this one fits too. Okay. This low pressure turbine casing is also really good. Okay. Now this slides like mistake. I have bolted it the other way around. I'll have to correct it now. Do that. Not really, actually. I have put it correctly itself. What am I missing? Okay. That's not the right way. Yeah. I'll just correct it and come back in a minute. Now these two needs to be connected, and the correct way to put these two is now these two needs to be put. Now from the smaller side, this has to be placed from the bottom and it should stick out like this. Okay, and once that happens, we need to align one of the screws. So again, we take a washer, we take a nut, we slide in the washer, we hold it in a tweezer. These are angled tweezers. They are specifically helpful for this task. So I saw one is aligned, and from the other side I'm holding this entirely so it just does not slide off. Now I'll take up one of the washer. It is slightly harder to pick it up. put it on the other side of board and slightly put it on top and hold it like this that I can tighten it from the other side. Okay, seems like I moved it got out. It is fairly hard to kind of line these up, so with time you'll understand and you'll get used to. If you find it hard, remember, we don't do things because they are easy. Okay, it is kind of like a watch repairman's job, watchmaker's job kind of thing. Maybe not that difficult, but not easy either. Okay. My finger is not small enough to hence I'll have to use the tweezer. Okay. I'll tighten these all up and then we'll be back. Okay. One thing, I'm using washers on the both side. This is really important because washer gives more surface area to these joints, and in cases of any collision drops, they kind of prevent it from breaking at that specific point. So try to keep washers, guys. Missed. Yeah, I lost this one. Sorry. It's real difficult. This one is probably the hardest and arguably the most fun part of this work, but I assure you guys, once it all is done, it is worth it, and you'll remember how big of a task you achieved. Since it's evening, it's getting darker, and I'm finding it a little bit harder to see. But not many are left, anyways. Just continue. Okay. So with that, now we have exhaust turbine ready to, and Next, what we are gonna do, we are gonna slide in these stator disc into this casing. So these, you can see these are cut and you can see through these. So I mean, obviously the real engines won't have these cuts. Essentially this is a cross-sectional model so that we can kind of see through and really see how things are working with it. So you can just tell by seeing these alignments whether they are correct. They go in a very specific direction, and if you have to put force or if they don't kind of slide right in, then you need to kind of check again and correct. Once this is done, this entire assembly slowly with little force it slides right in, and just ensure the nothing goes out of the place either. Once that happens, now this part directly can connect to the ball bearing on the exhaust side, and it will slide right in. Once that happens, the exhaust connectivity is ready, and we can connect this part too. Again, the first one is slight bit harder because there is a lot of degree of freedom at that time. I mean, once we kind of get that in, then it restricts along this one of the board, and it can rotate a little bit, but remaining all freedom goes away. Now we can, once we put the other second, it kind of becomes firm and it won't move anywhere, and we can slide all the remaining nuts, bolts and washers too. So again, we should keep a washer on both of the sides. So there should be a washer under the bolt's head, nut's head, and under the bolt as well. So one on one side, another on another side, and that is the best configuration. Sometimes people use even more washers in different conditions, and there are multiple types of washers as well. But as this is a non production thing, this model, so we can get away with these. And in jet engines, not only the design but a lot of material properties are also required. So it uses almost all the branches of physics when it comes to designs. That is why these things are kind of so hard to make, and you can count on fingers how many different companies really make them throughout the world. And not only making, these engines have to be really efficient as well to compete with different existing models, because they tend to serve really long distances and tend to take a lot of fuel. So fuel efficiencies, their weight to thrust ratios like are also important, so and very critical. You can check all these details on Wikipedia, or you can just do a Google search and kind of find more aspects of jet engines online. And also, I have not designed this model. It's originally a model by a person who goes by the name something like Cativa 9 something, and he made a real good, beautiful jet engine model. And on top of that, he shared it within the community, and he has listed it um, on different sites, and that was kind of remixed by another designer who goes by the name Linus 3D, and that is the model that I downloaded, and I printed and arranged all these parts. So now we have another part of it ready, and it's time for getting out another ball bearing as well. Put that here. So now this one is high pressure turbine. It goes like this, just under the fuel ignition chamber, and this one has to be paired with the compressor's shaft. So again, the same thing. This is relatively easier to put in because it has some of the hex shaped grooves where these hex nuts slides right in. These are called hex nut because they are hexagonal in shape. I'm sliding them all in one shot, and later I will put in the bolt from the other side. Or maybe not, I'm too confused all the time. Okay. That harder for me to see, and really, but this is okay. I feel it's a little bit easier this way. For tightening these nuts, we need to be extreme careful. We do so that we don't tighten them too hard, because hex-shaped grooves placed also will try harder. They will become rounded because of nuts rotation. So try to tighten them just right. Okay. First one was slightly hard, so I put the washer, but in remaining I'll put the washer. Now I'm thinking I should have done this one by one. Right. Okay. I'll let some of these fall. I'll do them one by one only. I'm doing it so carefully that I don't break anything else or dislocate the glued in blades also. Be really patient with it. This one is giving me a bunch of trouble. This tool is slight bit hard, but not as much as this one was. And I made it hard only because I now put it them all once, but I will not try to do this now. Try to do it as easy as possible and one at a time. Okay, full time over there. Feel some, this is not right. This nut seems to be bad. So far we have got 2 bad nuts, bolts maybe. I check the nut and bolt definition all the time, but again I forget which one is a nut. Okay, so it seems like this time problem is not the nut but rather bolt. How do I know? I really don't. But 2 nuts going bad in one sequence, rare. More chance the bolt is not good. Let's see. Two more for this, and it can take a lot of time. So guys, plan to do it maybe over multiple days or multiple sessions as you are comfortable with. I have to complete this today, so I'm gonna do it in one go. Okay, so now we have this connected as well, and now what next? Let us connect these two. Okay, and before we do that, we need to slide this other, not this, sorry, this smaller one inside this high pressure turbine. The same way it goes well, and it fixes, so now it can rotate on it, and similarly we have to swipe right in. So okay, so now once we do this, this one moves separately and they both have their own motions. Now we will slide this ignition chamber over here, and meanwhile I see some of these are moving. My glue was not fixed yet, so I think that is fine. So first, again, it takes a little bit of effort to get the first one right, but once we kind of get that one, the second become easier, and remaining kind of become much easier. That's the same for everything in life. First time hard, second time easier, third time business as usual. I'll get two where I am holding it like this, and I'll put it back on so that it don't move, and I can put the remaining easily. So I got the second one too. Okay. Okay, not a problem. Finding it hard. So while putting these nuts and bolts in, I would advise you to kind of keep all of them aligned on the same side, and also in one side or another. For this particular case, it's easier to fix it from one side, so I'm using that side, and all that I'm gonna do, I'll just try to kind of keep all of them aligned in the same direction, so that they all look good. And don't worry if it takes more time for you. I've been doing this a lot lately, so for me it's business as usual, so it will take some time. The first time around it took me a lot of time, actually the entire night. There were videos, but they were not as clear as in which step to put, when to put. They were more like a step-by-step instruction, but some things I was not able to see at all. That's why I'm going to put in this entire video, so that you can see one by one that are you doing right, are you doing wrong. And if you find any easier way to do the things that I did, it will be really helpful for me too, as I am trying to do this a lot. for the people who for some reason cannot assemble it but would still like to have this marvelous of technology and beautiful piece at their home. Be careful. Okay, so now seems like it is looking like the final thing a little bit now, but still more steps to do. Now let us put the compressors linings, stator linings. My process is I just kind of see them with my eyes and try to see if they are kind of fitting in, and that way I kind of get to understand which one fits where. First of all, I think the largest piece I will find, this seems to be the largest piece, and this had a particular alignment to it. Yes, it fits lined up, but it's not the correct one. Okay, fits perfectly at this point. And now I know they go, I'm sorry, this direction, they go this direction, and this is the piece which fits here. So which part exactly fits where, it is a slight bit eyeballing you'll have to do, and probably that's the most fun part of it. Okay, seems like I'm a bit of am I having this correctly? Seems like I had incorrect lining probably. Now this fits perfectly, and they feel perfect. So I think this one is for compressor rather, or is it? Or not really. Am I having these aligned? goes in this part. It will be slight bit difficult to slide this one in. Let me see. Seems like I have failed to put in one part, so I think I'll put that later. Can I do that? Seems like I can't. I can risk breaking it, but I really do not want. But I don't want to open it either. Let me see first which side does it align. This aligns like this. Okay. Let me see if there is a way. Okay, seems like unfortunately I can't slide that just like this. I'll have to open it up. I'll have to put that back and we'll go there. So essentially it's a process. We make mistake no matter how many times we do that, and we have to correct ourselves. Making my fingers burn. This is metal and it tends to scratch skin. That's part of job. Now we got this one out. Remove this. While I do this part, this lining goes in this pure ignition. Sorry. It is hard to put here as it is. I think have put it in the beginning itself. Now I can't because this part, the other part is fixed. I can't really make that change. Let me see. This is a problem and need to solve this problem. Simple. I can't remove the nozzles because once they are fixed, at least in this model, I can't really remove them without breaking. Here we are, trying to somehow fix, and that's part of the job. You need to find creative ways to fix the unfixable, and with that we have this fixed. A little bit of problem solving always helps, and also we need to be persistent and not giving up. With that said, I'll not remove the part where I made that mistake, so that you kind of get to have this experience too. Let me know in the comments if you like me to remove it too. Okay. Tighten. One. Tighten on the another one, another side. Bolt, washer, insert, washer, nut. The holy sequence. Fixed. It will be relatively easier to kind of put the third one in the middle, and we'll get all these back in no time. Or I'll not remove the part. I'll give notice that first watch the entire video, then come to try it, and we'll see how many people directly tried or how many took the advice. That's a way, guys. Okay, just this last one for this piece, and then we'll have some more. Okay, now we have a compressor as well as high pressure turbine, low pressure turbines ready. Now we can slide the compressor into compressor casing, and the same way all these parts are glued on, and we also have linings placed inside it. Once we kind of line them up just right, and so that the holes align where we can put the board, and we'll just try to slide these right on very slowly with the little bit easy on all sides, so that we don't break anything, and just get it right. Okay. Once it gets in, again we can just bolt these stages as well. So now again I have the same choice where which side to put the bolt. I'm choosing the side which gives me more ease of keeping the bolt and tightening the screw. Not too much confusing. That bolt. Nuts and bolts makes me nuts, it seems. Okay. So generally I do this on the ground, but to create this video I'm doing it on a table. It's certainly a little bit more complicated than doing it on the ground. So you can choose your preferred way of doing this. I'll reiterate this. It's really very important that you have washers put on both the sides, because I've seen this break a few times, and the breaking points are generally where you miss or don't put the washer, and it just goes right off. So either keep it really carefully, or for a little bit added protection, use washers. And even with washers it can break, um, because it's a PLA, it's a biodegradable plastic. It's a really good alternative to any other plastics, like so. Plastic can still break. Okay, now we have almost half of it ready, and it's just turbo fans that are remaining, and here we need to place the second ball bearing, the larger one. We still have one more ball bearing remaining that we are going to use just now. So this one fits perfectly, but I'll remove it. Then I'll just slide these straighter linings in and see which one fits here. This one fits the first. Let's see, by the size I can see it's probably the third, and it is. And then this seems to be the last possible thing. Okay, you just see this looks good, and now I'll just slide this right here. Or I can't do this, so I'll do this. I'll place this one on this, and then I'll place it in such a way that it is lined up perfectly with the stator linings, and the ball bearing is aligned to its position as well. And I'll slide it right in, so it goes in, it fits well, it can move too. Now for the last ball bearing, I'll just slide right in, and this, as I forgot to mention, this is also a piece. You have to just slide right in. So this connects to the other shaft, which is carrying this exhaust rotor. Now I'll try to see it clicks. Once both the shaft joins, it clicks, and then there is still some gap because one of the ball bearing, smaller one, needs to slide in. So I will slowly I put it in on one side too, and it gets very good. Feel the bottom ball bearing has not slided that way, so I'll remove it, and I need to place this slightly inside. I'm trying to do this so soft so that I don't break anything. Okay, so once I do this, goes completely inside, and once that does, I'll just take this part, slide this right in, and I'll have to rotate it a little bit because there is a hex shaped connector that is going in and trying to connect on the other side of shaft. So once that does, it takes no effort, it just gets connected, slides inside the other shaft, and once that happens, it goes well. Now there are some still nuts and bolts left. Again the same thing, connecting two stages. I'll try to pull that in. I'll see which size is better. At this time I feel if I put it this way, it feels easier. It's just my preference. It does not show that much, and you can do it the way you like. I would advise to keep all of them aligned in one side, or have some sort of pattern at least, so that looks good. Now this, I got my first bolt connected, and I'll go to the completely other side, and I'll connect one more here. So it is advisable to connect the opposite ends of the screws, because they have slight bit of tolerances, and if you kind of start from one side, while going to the other side, it can shift in one or other direction. So it's always advisable first tighten a screw from like exactly opposite side, and then kind of try to do it in a pattern actually. How I do it, I tighten the exact opposite ends first, so that I have entire thing put in place properly. Then I try to tighten the middle screw so that all remaining kind of aligns perfectly. So you can see I've been dropping one or two bolts or nuts or washer here and there. So we have included few extra, I mean not like twice or thrice, like some 5 to 10 extra pieces of all these things, so that while getting this done, you can concentrate on this part and maybe efficiently complete it. It's been quite some time. I'm feeling like having some tea or Indian chai as we call it. But I feel once it is done, then I think I'll be more happier seeing this and then having tea than just stop it and go tea for tea. Okay, I seem to have got a smaller one. There is someone at the door. I'll pause it. Okay, that was some parcel that I got. Now let's continue this. Okay, this one is a bit smaller, won't work. So that's why we have extra. Sometimes a wrong one comes in the pack. It's better to have extra than kind of sort them all. Okay. Seems to think it is not good. Probably. Let us see what is the problem. Seems like nuts problem. It's weird. Two back-to-back nuts are not good. Okay. Okay, so now it is almost done. So just a few more things to do. Now this entire high pressure, low pressure area, that all is working just as we want it to. And this is to line these two. So these have small grooves on them, and we need to kind of line these perfectly. And once we do, they all kind of slide it in. So without much effort, just by lining them perfectly, they work. Now this is one place where we do not need to add any of the washers, because this is curved surface, and here I don't think it will be very efficient to kind of have the washers. But it is a bit tricky to get these in place. So there are these tiny holes. We need to hold our nut from one side and bolt it down from the other. And yeah, I got one. In the similar fashion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. And we are almost getting done. It is already looking like a perfect piece. We're just giving the final 5 joints we are making. Okay, this is yeah, it's easier to bolt it this way. Again, I did not tight them with all my might. We need to kind of just have them in a sense that they don't move and they don't kind of destroy the plastic either. So all that we want, that they just don't move. Don't try to put more power to tighten these up. Even if they are slight bit loose, that works. After all, we are not gonna mount it on a plane and fly it. Now seems like we have all these fixed. Just one last step, and then we will be done. So all these casings, there are 3 on this area, 4 on this area, and 5 on this area, and 4 on this area. We need to put glue on all these so that they just don't move. So they are semi circular in they all are semi-circular, so we'll just slide them slightly, maybe quarter of a full rotation, so that we can see some of it. And once we do, we can put in our glue. Okay. I'll just put a little bit of glue on these so that they just, once we slide them in, they kinda stick. And on the same axis I will kind of move them inside so they settle, and I'll try to keep them in their own grooves as well so that they don't get fixed otherwise. And I'll move them now from the other side so they will start showing up the same way they did from the other side, and we'll try to put the glue this side too so they are bounded properly with the casing. And this is going inside. Just roll it like this. Put it. Now we have glue on both of its sides. This too will put some of the glue, and I'll just slide this to right in. Now when I do, they feel bit tightened already because there is slight bit glue and they kind of are fixing to the casing already, so that's a good thing. And I'll remove any additional glue and lingering around. These ones are slightly tighter already. I think this may not wait, this also will try to get this out. This also will try to get to out. This also will try to get out. And the same way, these two I'll try to get out. Slowly slide back in. The second one, the third one, the fourth one, and now I'll do the very same thing again from the other side. I'll try to get this out so that we can put glue on both the sides so it kind of holds easy. Once I put glue on all these, I'll get them back into the place. They kind of feeling a little bit more robust, and as the glue will settle, then we'll have even better bond with these and better movement all across. Now once this is done, I'll do the same thing for the last thing also, and okay, and I think I've got this lining piece I forgot. I think I'll do the same thing for this as well. So make sure you don't stick it on the other incorrect part. All the places where we are putting glue, they are all semicircular. They are like the full rotors are all complete circles, but we are putting in on glue on all the items which are only semicircular in nature. So that's it. That is some good way to differentiate where to put glue, or see if you have put any incorrect place, glue any incorrectly. Try to avoid that. And now we have these are all set up. So as I'm moving them inside, they're having a little bit of residue over, so I'm just trying to remove that residue, just putting out my hand. Later I'll wash my hand. This one requires gluing on one side, and then these four requires gluing on one side. Okay. Now we have all the gluing areas in view. I'm really careful, and that is why we have two different colors, so we kind of can be sure that we do not glue on the rotors. So rotors need to move freely. And even if you kind of glue on certain incorrect parts, maybe if you use not very hard glue, very strong glue, that will do. So with our set, we are going to give you normal Fevicol, and that can be removed pretty easily if you mistakenly put that as well. So as now you can see, it is moving well. Now as the last part, I'll just put it on the stand, and this part, this side has a little bit of size which fits perfectly in this, and here we have it, guys, our jet engine model. Now air sucks in, compressor moves, it rotates this high pressure turbine. That turbine moves the high pressure exhaust gases to the this exhaust rotor, and this in turn generates the power. It gives power to suck in more air, and this generates thrust, and it kind of is a positive feedback loop, so it keeps increasing the thrust, and it starts producing more and more exhaust and power and thrust, and we can theoretically move real fast speed, Mach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even more, Mach 12 with these sort of engines. So I wish you all the best, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you like this video and share it with others. Thank you. Have a good time.